Welcome to my daily practice at Wendy Code Art. If you find this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video.
Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm an artist. I've been an artist my whole life and I am excited to invite you into my studio and show you my art practice. I paint every day and I do acrylic on paper. I also do stencils. I draw. I organize my studio space. I do a lot of things. For me, art is about problem solving, so there's always little tricks and tools that I can share with you along the way. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to clean up a bit of a mess that I made yesterday. Not in the studio, but on the paper. I got a little trigger happy, a little enthusiastic with the circles. But, no animals were harmed, so I'm good. But I had got I was trying just some craft paint. I mean, it's good. It's acrylic. It just has a different flow, and that was interesting. But the only opaque color was, of course, the black. So where I used it, that was a little bit heavy-handed. Again, there's always another painting, and I can always get another piece of paper and start again. So I'm not so concerned. But, just something that I have to deal with today. And I'm going to give the spiral circles a bit of a break. So my intention is to work. Everything I'm seeing now is pretty much finished. I'm not going to work anymore on these. I'm going to take these panels down and I'm going to put up some new paper. Let me just turn these panels around to the other side and see if there's anything. No circles yet. I definitely have a couple circles. Well, I have this panel, which was the original experiment. And at first I hated it, and then I loved it, and then I kept going on it. And actually, what did I do with this one? I guess before I put circles on it, I just took this one down. I was like, well, I'm going to save one of them. And then I didn't. In the end, I put it on the table somewhere, this one, I guess, to recycle. So I'm all ready for a new panel there. And I think everything here is done as well. I don't know about these paintings back here. Let me get my coffee substitute. I can't really drink coffee, and I'm tired of all the herbal teas. So I have chicory, which is actually quite good. And you can put a little milk in it. I kind of like that, just that little creamy taste. So I don't know if you can see them very well, but back here I have a set of paintings. And, they're done by proxy. By that, I mean, there's nothing more on them that I could do. I really hesitated. I was standing there with a squeegee just ready to make a circle, and just something said no. Yeah, just said no. So I didn't do that. And, it's so hard because sometimes the ones that are most confusing and the ones that give you the hardest time turn out to be like the best. But it takes time to make that determination. And I'm not, you know, this is my real estate, these boards. So I'm just not going to give it a whole lot more time because I have already come to the point of completion. And of course, if I turn these around, I really did have a field day with all these. And I love the room. I loved my studio with all these like boom, 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 all of these bullseyes. So I will probably keep going. It's taken a while. If you followed consecutively with the videos, I've gone from horror, what have I done? Oh my goodness, to delight. But it did take some time. But once I got to the delight end of the spectrum, then I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. Okay, so basically that leaves the tabletop pieces. I'm going to move this around so you can see my tabletop. I'll start here, and I'm going to start with the stencils. I've been having a hard time corralling these stencils. And I want this goddess. I'm not sure, I thought the spiral that I made there was a little too much. But I'm going to give it one more try here with the stencil because it could turn out looking quite differently. Oh, and I tried using this yesterday, just a squeegee, but the handle, it didn't allow me to, get pressing enough. So that was a bomb out. Toss that one aside. So I'm not tempted to pick it up and work with it. Got things on the table I don't need. My trusty squeegees. I try to work with other materials, and I do, and it's fun. But I keep coming back to my trusty squeegees. So let's see. I want something lighter. It's my runny yellow. And this is my not so runny yellow. It's almost like these paints have heard there's new paints in town, the ones that I got over here, because they're running quite, a bit better. Maybe it just took a little competition to get them moving. Yeah, they're all moving. I mean, I don't think I've had 3 tubes of paint consecutively cooperate ever. Let's see if we can go for the 4. So if I put turquoise in between these yellows, it's going to create a green somewhere. One of my faves, indigo. I'll put that in there too. Okay, indigo's the stopper. But I was on a roll there with paint compliance. All right. Now, I'm going to go from here to here. Yeah, there's not enough of a contrast. And that's the only place I've used that particular image. Maybe just white would have been good. Hard to say. I'm going to try a little something else there. That's nice. And here, I like this. There's kind of a very pale color, which I liked, but not enough to keep myself from doing something else there. I also like it when there's a kind of an overlap or an overlay, like I don't stay on the lines particularly well. I'm going to put these over here just so I can keep track of them. My goddess, my Venus. Yeah, there's something about that. And this Venus, I'm going to continue she is featured prominently in a few places here. And also, this little goddess. Now, she's actually doing pretty well. I'm not seeing the one I'm looking for in the stencil. So let me just put something in the center here. And in the center there. Oh, yeah. Actually, I found what I was looking for, but it's too late. And the goddess of the city. Yes, we have her here. Now, this is getting kind of old. But I like that. Okay, so I really have filled in a lot of the figures, and I have to wait, and so I have to work on the background areas. I have to wait for the paint to dry. I just saw something that I wanted to do here, and I think it's to create a very dark kind of a shadow. A little splotchy, but it's what I wanted to do. Just going back in with a little dark pigment. And this one did not work. I tell myself never to do this, but I'm just going to make it white. Or kind of a gray, because I got so many colors on here that they will all meld to kind of a gray. Something's happening there. Well, that's better. I'm not saying I'm, entirely happy with it, but it's better. Yeah, that's better. And I'm going to do the same here. Okay, well, I just lightened it up so I can put some other color down next. But without further ado, I also want to work on these. So I'm moving everything over. I don't know why, but this area doesn't get the same attention. Until now. Oh yeah, that was the light one. I'm really mad that I kind of ruined that for the squeegee, that color, and it's a really nice color. It's that pale yellow. However, I'm looking here and I think I have two of them, lemon yellow and lemon yellow. So I might be able to pump up the viscosity by mixing the two identical colors. That can work. Get a little more cooperation here. And, it's kind of nice to go between the abstraction and the figurative, even though I'm not creating the figure, from my head, or, I'm working with the stencils, but I just enjoy the shapes. I could do other shapes. Ooh, peach. Haven't seen peach enough. Look at this. I'm gonna put peach there. Come on, peach. Oh, I've got a big goop of something. Oh, peach. And then, last but not least, I think I'll go for my indigo. It's such a nice blue-black. That maroon dripped, and I thought it was brown. All right, here we go. Turn it. It's good to start with these stencils. This gal, I really like this gal. It's a face that, I got on the internet of a young woman with a spiky hairdo. I just like the shape of it. Get rid of these. Oh, that's pretty heavy. And now, put these two guys together. See how that goes. Lumpy, lumpy, lumpy. Ooh. I love that. get a couple more. Getting low on the paint here. Maybe I should get some more paint. Starting to blend, but I don't know if you can see that. I'll show you later. Yeah, the paint, when it blends on the squeegee, is, sometimes pretty gorgeous. It's kind of warm in the studio today. I'm pleasantly warm. It's kind of that cozy feeling, being in my favorite space, enjoying, the process. Just pretty magical, just creating things from liquids. It does give you a feeling of, like, I don't know, creatorship. And can't say that, this ambiance makes for better painting, but it is important to have a space. I mean, I've had so many spaces, and some of them are, well, I've made them all work for me. I mean, they've all eventually been great, but you really, the space is as important, maybe more so than the individual paintings. I know for some artists, they can just do their work anywhere, wherever, and that is great. I mean, that's a gift. But I need a kind of a stability, a anchor, which my studios provide really, really beautifully. It's starting to run away on me. All right, little goddess. The first squeegee is always the goopiest. And you too, Venus. Wow, that white silhouette is pretty sweet. With a red head, just her head is reddish, kind of fluorescent-ish. Remember to take these off the paper, because if they dry on the paper, then they are stuck like glue. Like this one is just about stuck like glue. Gosh. Really nice things going on here. Stuck like glue. It's okay on the plastic though, because that will pull off. But on paper, boy, when it's stuck, it is stuck. All right, that's pretty light. But I got things going on here. And that makes me happy. Just gonna scoop up a little bit of that paint. like I said, those first passes really, the paint really goops up. Sorry, I'm just so taken with these colors and the patterns and the stencils here. I just stopped talking. I know it. I know. And I know it bothers some people. I know. I do my best. I really do. Boy, I've used all my stencils, so it's going to be a lot of washing to do. So that's it. I got a lot of work to do taking these panels down. If you haven't seen me taking staples out, there's a video for that. I think it's like almost 30 minutes, me taking the staples out. So that's all part of the process. I'm really interested to really just show all these wonderful variations in the studio practice, and it's not just the fun part. Well, it's all kind of a fun part. What have I done here? I'm going to let that dry. That might be interesting. So I'm so happy that you are joining me today, and maybe other days too. I'll take you through my day-to-day as an artist, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thanks for being here.